Hi everybody. I'm revisiting an old tune today. In fact, I know some of you out there actually know this tune or play this tune. I'm talking to you, Brennish, out there, and maybe some of folks who were at the Acadia camp. I taught this tune one time there. And I had this tune on my brain today, and I'm not even sure why, except I always really liked it. And then I thought to myself, I had recorded it on the album with Jake Sharon, and our album in 2019 that's called Half Day Road. And I had also first started playing that tune with Jake, and when we put it on the album, there was one element to this tune that we didn't record, which was to make this little sound. If you put your bow on this side of the bridge, you get this crazy little sound. And I know there's a name for this, and I'm not going to know the name of it right now, but there's a name for going over there. And many years ago when I was teaching in Chicago, I think just for interest and just for fun, I was teaching Drowsy Maggie and was putting in this little squeal of a pig into the tune. And my young little students, although I was young myself at that time, really enjoyed crossing over to grab these crazy sounding sounds. And so years later, I had been at the Swannanoa Gathering in North Carolina and went off with some of the folks from the class, and we went down to see, it's an agricultural college, so there were pigs there, and there were a lot of pigs, new baby pigs there at that time, July. And while we were there, one little pig was squealing like crazy, and we could see that there were ears sticking up behind its mom. So I eventually just kind of snuck in and gave her a bit of a shove to help that one out. And it was very wobbly after that experience. And I went home, and as I was sitting at dinner with my family and my brother Tom in particular, I remembered what had happened. And I said, oh, by the way, I saved a pig. And his almost immediate response was funny because he said, oh, Liz, you saved the ham. And so it was a good laugh with our family, and it ended up being the name of this tune. And I've been able to use this tune every once in a while in a concert. But when we recorded it again, we skipped that little element of having the pig squealing at the end. But I thought it might be fun to revisit this tune. And for you that don't know this tune, it's good fun. It is a reel. It's in D, and I almost think that there's a little thing that happens after the second part, the second time, which is almost like a little bridge. So it doesn't actually need to be there, but I like doing it a lot. And it takes this tune from being a tune that's just in a session to almost being a little piece. Almost like, think of any classical piece where there's actual notes and there's actually a way that goes. And so you can't just throw in that little bridge, except that you almost have to be on your own to do it, which is probably why I don't hear a lot of people play this out there. I think if I was at a session, I'll just reiterate, if I was at a session, I'd probably play the first part twice, second part twice, first part twice, second part twice, and leave out the sound of the little pig and leave out the little bridge. But as a piece, it's a lot of fun to do. So I thought I'd take you through this tune today, and I will. And I'll take you through the tune, and then I might give you a couple of the variations, which were very fun to do. And I actually have a recording, which Jake took the very first time we ever played this on a stage. And I think I had thought of the pig, and I think I had thought of the little bridge. Otherwise, I had shared that tune with Jake already. So we're in Goderich at the festival there in Canada. And I was staying at the house of Kim and Wayne Payne. And Kim's a really nice harpist, and I think she was taking harp lessons while we were there, but almost every morning that I woke up to the sound of her practicing her harp. This is not a bad way to go, very enjoyable. And we got together, Jake and I, and just hammered this out and had the biggest laugh doing it. And I think the energy from that recording is quite fun. And the only thing is that Jake had the recorder down by my feet, and I am there just bopping away to this. So it's a lot of banging. But if you can get past the banging, you can probably tell how excited we were to throw this out to an audience. And boy, they really were fantastic. It was a great audience. So now I'll get myself tuned up, and I'll take you through this tune. Here is the first part of the tune. Not a lot of repeats in this one, gang. So here's the first phrase. I'll play that again. Next phrase. Third phrase is and then the next bit. Now, we're halfway through, so this is a good place to just stop and pull all of that together. So I'll play all of that. Here we go. Go. And then the next phrase. So that's like the beginning. And then. And I'll play that again. So all of this is like that first section. Here's that third phrase again. And I think I'm varying that a little bit, but it can be. So I'm ending on E this time because we're going right to the ending, and its ending is. Let me play that for you again. So it's D to D, C, E, D, C, A, G. And that is the first part. are there. And that is your first part. Next now is the second part. It starts, in fact, I'll play it for you first. So the first phrase of this second part is, we're starting on the D. The next phrase starts on the F sharp. Repeat that. I use an A now as a pickup note, and I go. So again, the A is the pickup. A, B, C, B, G, G, A, B, B, A, G, A, B. And then I'm using a C sharp. And then I'm back to the notes from the beginning. So what I've just done is this. And then I go to here. It's just like the beginning of that second part. Then an F sharp. So that again is. And now I'm coming towards the end, so I'm going in a different direction, down low. And when I get done with that, I use a kind of a D. So it's. Right, and each one of those little parts, I think, is quite fun to play. So any one of those that you pick out and get up to a certain speed, or just work on your fingering. So like even for a last part like that, I can be. See, I'm just going over it and going over it and getting happy with it, and with the bowing and with the fingering and the tuning. The final piece of the puzzle here is, again, there's almost a bridge. And the bridge is very fun to play, I think. Okay, pat on the back to myself here. I think it's good fun. And if you'd like to learn it, I'm just going to play it all as a piece, and I'll include the notes for this part. But yeah, there's nothing tricky, just to get used to it. And so let me play it for you. I get done playing that little whole thing that I just played, it actually goes into the second part again and does a different ending for the second part. So it's kind of tricksy. I almost forgot that I was doing it myself, so we'll see how good of an editor I am. I'll finish off where I just did and just add this. But here is that bridge, as it were, going into a repeat of the second part with a new ending. Yikes, a lot of words here now. So it's going to go. And then I would head back into the first part of the tune. And as I come along there, I will show you how to put the pig sound in. But again, let me just play that part once more. It's going to go. Off I go to the first part of the tune. So the pig sounds happen. This is a squeaky pig and it's baby pig. And I started in the second part of the tune. And so I'm coming along, I've played the first part. And what I noticed that I could do is just to go, now, so if I was fingering this, funny enough, when I first started adding this to it, I had a laugh because somebody was saying, my God, Liz, you're fingering, but it doesn't make any difference. And indeed it doesn't on this side of the bridge. So I can do these sounds. But for a long time, I kept fingering anyway. And maybe it did keep my spot, but I would just do that much. And then I would bring my bow back over to this side of the bridge and play the next bit. So that I ended up having this. So if that makes sense, you can just be there. I thought I shouldn't repeat myself exactly, and so I had a lot of fun just going and playing the melody next and reversing. So bring the bow over. That may or may not make sense, so I'm just going to put it in context. Let's say here is the second part twice. Boy, the more I think about it, the more fun it would have been to actually do it on a recording. On the other hand, I think the reason was, I think I did try it somewhere, maybe at a festival. And you know, for anybody that didn't know the story and didn't know why you sounded like that and were just walking by, they kept walking. So I thought to myself, okay, wait a minute. If you have a recording and here's Jake and my name on it, and if you heard that and you didn't know the story, then that recording wouldn't make sense. But we did love doing it, and so I hope you'll enjoy that first iteration in Goderich in Canada, there in Ontario. It was so much fun, and yeah, and hopefully you'd get a kick out of learning this tune, and maybe even teaching it to someone. Somebody was just saying to me today, you know, if you really want to get good at something, teach it to somebody. I think we all know that, but boy, yeah, yeah, you clean up your act when you really want someone to know what's nice in things and what you like about it and all. You want to play it well, and yeah, so teaching somebody really gets you yourself to really step up to the plate and play well, and play it as well as you can. Yeah, I'm going to put on the recording here and the notes, and hopefully you'll enjoy giving this one a go. I do like that. I kind of put it in the world of, you know, the chieftains years ago did, and so did pipers and fiddlers. There's even things in O'Neill's books of doing the fox hunt, and so you'd have the sounds of the horse's hooves and the sound of the fox dying and the sound of the dogs barking. And so maybe I'm just going to put this tune and what it's doing into that same world, be bold, and say, yeah, this is that story. And yeah, enjoy. Bye.